Chitra ma'am, introduction எடுத்துக்கலாமா?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. We can get started, ma'am.
Yeah. Good evening, all. My name is Seva and happy to welcome you to 1244th episode of Non-Stop Review Session in Read Food. For those who have joined us for the first time, we are an informal online book review group and we conduct reviews on books, articles, or any published concept in the same link 7 p.m. every day. With the growing demand, we also have an 8:30 slot to celebrate mental health on Tuesdays, singing on Wednesdays, Sanskrit on Fridays. We encourage each one of you to use this space for self and others' growth. Coming to today's presentation, it is my pleasure to introduce Chitra ma'am. Today's reviews a book titled The Compound Effect. Let's listen to Chitra ma'am and what the author says in this book. Welcome, Chitra ma'am. The stage is yours. Thank you. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Seva, ma'am. Good evening to all of you. This is Chitra. Today we are going to look at the book, The Compound Effect. Thank you, Seva, ma'am, for hosting this, and thank you, Redford, for giving this chance. So we'll get started with the book. This book, The Compound Effect, is a New York bestseller book and also Wall Street Journal bestseller. And the author who has written this book is Darren Hardy. He is a uh, trainer come mentor for a lot of entrepreneurs, and he has shared his knowledge and the experience that he has gained throughout his career, and also the interviews he had taken all the top CEOs. With all those learnings and the habits of the successful people, he has consolidated those lessons into this book, and he has given it like a very nice book. There are like around 160 pages, and this is the book, and it has like it's a very good read, and throughout the book, like you will feel very interesting to read, and to uh, give like a background on the author a little bit, like the author Darren Hardy. He is like I said, he is a speaker, and also like he was publisher of a magazine called Success Magazine, and that is where he got a lot of opportunity to interact with all the entrepreneurs to learn how they are successful and learn their habits, how they are successful. And like the interesting thing is Darren Hardy and Tony Robbins. I think you all know Tony Robbins. They both are good friends, and they both had a same mentor who's called Jim Rohn. He is the one who mentored both of these authors. Both of them are very successful authors, and they have also like written a lot of books. Darren Hardy, these are the books on the screen. You can see the books written by Darren Hardy, other than The Compound Effect. He has written the book Entrepreneur Roller Coaster and Living Your Best Year Ever, and then The Compound Effect. So these are like the other books, and The Compound Effect is something very famous out of all his books, which reached like all kind of audience, and all irrespective of which field they are working in and in which industry they are. And in this book, even Tony Robbins has had a short note about Darren reaching your goal cannot may not be so complicated or stressful. So it is all lies in the everyday small choices that we make in our life, and also it also involves like moving away from the reactive mode of just accepting what comes in our way and being passive receptor of what is coming on our way, and move away from that mode and get into an active mode and take control of our lives. So that's how this book will help us. And the book has like 6 parts, six topics. The first chapter talks about the action. So action, in the sense like it is all about the tortoise story we heard in our school, in our childhood. You know that there will be a race between the tortoise and the hare, and the tortoise will win the race because it slowly keeps progressing without leaving that persistence. So that is all about this book. Taking small actions every day consistently, and that might also seem so effortless once you get into a routine. And that's how the author just relates himself to tortoise, and he says, "You just give me some time, I can reach any goal because I know how to move like a tortoise, but I will always be consistent, and I'll take small steps towards and make sure I'm consistent to reach the goal." So that is the core point he starts with in this particular topic. And in this example, and he gives some examples of how the small changes can make huge radical impact. So, like this is the formula he has given. The right side, smart, small, smart choices. The right choices that you're going to make, it might be very small, but they are smart choices, and you do that consistently over a long period of time. That will result in a radical difference. So that is what he is trying to teach here. Excuse me. So I want to show you one demo. Like he has talked about uh, in this particular chapter, he has given an example of magic penny. Let me show you one small demo. So okay, this is an Excel sheet. Um, let me one second. Let me share the. Okay, okay. So now this is magic. There is an example magic penny. Okay, so just imagine somebody comes to you and then they are saying, "Today I will give you $3 million, and I will give you another option. So today I will give you 1 cent, and you have to wait till 31 days till end of this month, where the money will get doubled every day." So when we look at this, 1 single cent, and compare the 1 single cent and $3 million, we all will choose only $3 million because $3 million is so huge, where 1 cent is so small. But if the magic of the compounding is, so what they have mentioned is the penny what we have, it will get doubled every day. So let me show you. If you choose the second option, you say that okay, I will take 1 cent. I'll start with 1 cent, but let it get compounded, and I'll take the amount 31st day. So what will happen is you will keep comparing the amount that you have with the one with the friend. So after 10 days, I, if you look at the money that has grown for you is $5, but your friend has $3 million. So still you'll feel you made a wrong decision. Then again you are waiting till 20th day, and you see on the 20th day the amount has grown to $5,000. Still you're not convinced. You might feel that okay, still I choose the wrong one. But if you look at if you keep seeing the amount how it grows, on the 26th day, only on the 26th day, it would have reached some huge amount like 300K. Okay, and if you see on 29th of the month, it would have reached 2.6 million, which is still less than the 3 million which your friend got. But if you see on the day 30, it has become 5 million, and then on day 31, it has become 10 million. So on the day 31, you will get 3 times the amount 3 million. So since this was started small and it started increasing slowly, we do not realize the value of the compounding effect. If you see at the end of the month, you got more money than the 3 million. So that is why it is very important for us to understand the power of compounding. So you will never, you will be very much persistent with your goal, even though everyday effort is small. The compound effect of the outcome will be so huge. So this was an example given in the book. So I thought of showing it in the Excel sheet to make it feel more interesting. And let's go to the next one. Um, okay, this is an example of three friends. Here he takes an example of three friends: Larry, Scott, and Brad. So Larry is someone who thinks that he doesn't need much change. He's comfortable with the current lifestyle. Then there is another person, Scott. He is someone who wants to make some difference and get into shape, and he also wants to improve his health and his knowledge. And there is another friend, Brad, and so these three friends look similar, of around same weight, and then they decide to do these small choices in their life. Scott, if you take example of Scott, he chooses to reduce 125 calories every day, which doesn't seem like a very huge change. He just needs to skip either uh, his dessert or something that he takes every day. And he also chooses to read 10 pages every day, and 10 minutes of some inspirational or informational video or audio, 30 minutes of podcast or some information, and then he also chooses to walk 2000 steps extra every day. So he is trying to make these small changes in his life, and he is following it consistently. Though it is not a huge change, it was very simple for him. Um, the important thing that we need to note here is these things are very simple. That's why it is easy to follow, but that is why it is also easy to uh, not follow it or miss it. So that's why we need to be sure that we are going to be consistent. And if you take example of Brad, so what he is doing is he got a new TV in his home. He has also set up a bar within his house, and he just wants to relax a bit. So he just starts taking a little bit of alcohol once in a week, which is not very huge, right? And then he also takes a little more for calories than the usual amount of 125 calories. So this is what happens, and after 6 months, these friends, they when they you don't see much difference in them. They all look the same because it's not enough time. It's just 6 months, but still Scott is very consistent with his efforts, and Brad is also following his routine, and Larry doesn't make much change. And then what magic happens after 18 months is Scott, he has been doing this for 18 months. So over this long period, he has lost 33 pounds and he has become very slim. And because of learning a lot of new things, he got promoted and he has got career progress as well. And looking at Brad, even though he was not too obese earlier, he gained like 33 pounds and he also started having some health issues. So this is something like the small choices what Scott and Brad made on daily basis in a long term had made this much huge impact on them. So that is the power of compounding. And this is just he has given this example just to explain to us like how um, whether we can use the compound effect for our own advantage and grow, or we can also use it against us and take us to the undesirable results. So that's the uh, example that he has given to understand the compounding effect. Then let's move on to the next chapter where he talks about the choices. So it's all about the small choices that we make, and here he gives this saying like a quote like elephants don't bite, but only mosquitoes bite. In the sense like we don't like the huge impact actually is made by the small choices. If you want to remember that, this is like a very good mental model where you can just imagine we have never been bitten by elephant, but we get bitten by mosquitoes. So the small choices, uh, maybe the small thing that you miss uh, in your day-to-day life, that is what is going to impact a lot. Like if you take an example, I'll give you some example from my own uh, life. I just sometimes I mindlessly start scrolling my phone. I know that if I start scrolling my phone mindlessly, I will end up spending so much time. So many times I will notice that only after few uh, minutes or like few 1 hour or 2 hours that I have spent some time unnecessarily on the phone, because that is a small choice that I made to just mindlessly scroll the phone without keeping a reminder like okay, I will check for a few minutes or like 30 minutes, or without being aware of how much time I'm spending. And other example is like when we like open a bag of potato chips or a soda bottle, uh, we won't know like when we complete it. So that's what is end of the day you will realize that okay, you have spoiled all the healthy things you did for the day. So that's something to just show how small choices impact us and how small choices matters. So that's why he has given this quote, and he has taken one another example, a positive example here. You know that this is a Thanksgiving holiday in the US right now. So we just had a Thanksgiving holiday on Thursday, and yesterday was a Black Friday. So in this topic, he also talks about the Thanksgiving. So in the US, they have every year a Thanksgiving celebration, and they celebrate it with family, and they thank everyone who has helped them throughout the year. So that's what happens, and it's a very nice time over here. And in this example, in the topic, like he has given one small habit he started to improve his relationship with his wife. So he started writing every day one small thing that he was thankful for his wife in a Thanksgiving journal, and he started doing it every day. Um, and he kept on writing it in the journal, and towards the end of the year he had like so all the pages filled with thanks note for every small things that his wife did for him. And on the day of Thanksgiving he presented it to his wife, and after his wife read that book, she felt so happy, and uh, in fact she was overwhelmed with, and she got emotional and she cried to see how much he has noticed from throughout the year, and it has improved their relationship to a greater extent. And what he mentioned was, more than everyone else, it made a huge impact on him because the gratitude made him to reinforce all those positive things in his own life. So that's what he mentioned about in this topic. It was very interesting, and he just talks about how important it is to own 100 percentage, and in relationship, like taking 100 percentage responsibility to share and 0 percentage expectation. So that is the formula he is giving. And he also says how important it is to take full responsibility for our life, because only when we take the full responsibility for our own life, we graduate from childhood to adulthood. So that is the main factor which will show whether a person has graduated from childhood to adulthood. And let's see one small example for compound effect in money. So in this, he has given one example from a person called Kathleen. She wants to save. Her goal is to save 10% of her income. So she talks to the author and asks for suggestion, and she says like she doesn't have any hope because whatever she spends, she feels it's very basic necessity, and she cannot afford to not spend anything and to save 10%. So author gives her a very simple steps for her. First thing is he starts small step of asking her to bring lunch once in a week, prepare a meal once in a week and bring it from her home, and end of the month she will save around $33. And the second month, so he keeps it very simple, so she gets started on it consistently. Then second month, uh, she does the same thing. She tries to save that $33 by bringing her own lunch, and she also changes her cable connection, and which brings her like another saving of $33. Then for the second month she saves like $66, and the same thing happens with momentum. And third month she's figured out some other way to reduce another small expense, and she ends up saving like $97. So this is something like almost 3% of her income, and this is how she was able to save 10%. She was able to meet her goal of saving 10%, and it all started small and it gained momentum throughout the time period. And also, like this also impacted her attitude in all the fields of her life, and she got into a better position in her job, and because she implemented the same thing, small progress in other areas like learning new things, reading new books, and listening to podcasts and all that, and she was able to also increase her income. So that was very interesting story to show the compound effect in money. just if you look at it like how much we think that okay, only if I'm spending $5 on this coffee, right? What a big, how does it make it a big deal? But just to understand it, um, how much it makes a difference, let me show you this example here. So I'm sharing this Excel sheet to show you that. So think of the coffee price in 20 years, how much you would have spent on coffee. So like as the inflation goes up, the coffee price also goes up. 20 years today it is $4. 20 years from now it will be $10. And if you look at the amount spent on coffee every year, this is I just put a calculation into 365 days, and if the same amount, if you would have invested it in a savings plan where it is like gives 8% compound interest over a time of 20 years, do you see the impact? How much like the $4 that you spend on every day in 20 years it comes to 100K. So this is like the power of compounding. We just think like okay, this is what I spent. This $4 I'm spending. It doesn't make a huge difference. But when you look at this formula, which I just added the compounding of the amount by just adding 8% return. So in market you can still get huger returns than this. Just to take a minimum return of 8%. Over 20 years, you would have saved 100K dollars with that same coffee amount. So it's not that I'm telling you not to spend on the coffee, but you can also use this tactics to save money with small amounts, which will give you a huge return. So that is another example with respect to money, how it compounds. Let's go to next example. He talks about luck. Generally, we all have an opinion that what is luck. Luck is something what we think is okay. It's not in my control. Sometimes things happen on its own, but that is not true. Luck is something, as everyone quotes, like there is a famous quote that luck is when opportunity meets preparation. That is what is luck. But in this book, he also asks to consider two more factors, like our attitude. That the attitude in the sense, what kind of attitude do we have when are we seeing the opportunities that are present around us? That is the attitude we need to have, and we also need to take action when we get the right opportunity. So that is the fourth step. Like the preparation is where always we need to keep ourselves in the growth path where you can improve yourselves in your knowledge, your fitness, and your mental ability, and keeping your attitude, positive attitude, and learning new things. That is what is called the preparation step, where you're always prepared for anything in life. When because you never know when the opportunity knocks. So that is what is about preparation. And attitude, as I said, like attitude is something like first thing is you need to know that you are really capable of doing it, and how you look at yourself, and also how you look at things around you with a positive attitude. And also the opportunity, yes, the opportunity is always around us. We need to be, only thing is we need to keep our eyes open for the opportunity, and also we need to take right actions when we get the opportunity. So that is the formula for luck. So if you think that luck is something which is not in your hand, maybe you can try this approach, because luck is something that you can create for yourself. That's what he tries to convey. And moving on to the next chapter is about the habits, how to form habits, and how habit helps us to create a momentum. So in this one, like he talks about willpower. Willpower is something where like you need to have determination and willpower every day to go and do the things you want to do. But we all have like limited willpower. We need to move on to habits. So once you have the initial willpower and you have set up the habits, it becomes effortless. You don't need so much of willpower. And why power? He talks about something, a new term, why power here. Here, what he is trying to tell you is like to have a meaning or purpose. Like whatever you are doing, there should be some reason for that, what you are doing. So when you ask you that question, why am I doing this? Keep asking that question frequently. You will know, you will uh, keep reminding yourselves about the why reason why you're doing it, because that why reason only will give us happiness and fulfillment in life. So that is the difference between the willpower and why power. Whenever you feel a little low, generally what we think is I need willpower to overcome this and get going with this thing, with this challenge that's happening in my life. He is giving another tip that you can use your why power, and that is asking yourselves why. That reminds you about your own purpose, and which will give you a fulfillment when you achieve something. Then that is not just an achievement; it will be a fulfillment where you feel meaning and happiness in doing that. And that's that's the power of why power, and that's the power of asking why. And let's like habit, as we know, like he has given a lot of things. I'm not talking very detailed about this topic. We have a few more things. So the main point in habit he talks is about the routine, creating that routine, and the rhythm. Like in momentum, also he talks about that. So I'll first move on to this momentum, and then I'll also quote the same thing about the habit. Momentum. Let's remember. Well, let's go back to our 10th standard physics. What we learned in our 10th standard physics. Newton's first law, right? So the Newton's first law was law of inertia. So the object that are at rest, they will continue to be at rest until another external object comes and pushes it forward. And same thing applies to the object in motion. It stays in motion unless something goes and stops it. So that is the law of inertia. It applies in our real life also. If you take the simple example of the merry-go-round, when we play, when we were kids, we used to play this merry-go-round. Uh, like if you look at it, it's so hard to start that merry-go-round to keep rotating. Initially, we need to push it so hard, and once it starts moving and slowly it speeds up, it will not need so much of effort. That's a very good example model you can use for momentum, and that's how we can use the power of momentum and get into the habit and the routine. So generally we hear the term routine, right? Here in this book he uses the term rhythm. So he's telling like we need to get into a rhythm and make it like a sustainable, long-term sustainable routine as a rhythm, and we can build that through consistency and also also like logging our rhythm, like keep registering what we are doing it by having a tracker like this. So we also learned the same thing in Atomic Habits book earlier. So that is very powerful. And same thing has been explained in this book also, to keep tracking your efforts on a paper by marking and seeing how many days you are able to do that thing on a daily basis or a weekly basis. So for this example, I quickly will share this my personal experience. So I have a fitness journal. So this helped me to track my fitness on daily basis. So what I'll do is after my workout, I'll just enter what all workout I did for the day, and then I'll also write down all the yeah. So I just write down all the points like how I felt after the workout and all that. So over the long period of time, I started this only in month of July. So it's like around 5 months. Over this 5 months of period, I can see how much it has transformed me, how much it has helped me to reflect on my own progress. Many times the mistake what we do is we progress so much, but we never give time to reflect upon how much we have progressed, because that was one thing which will keep us motivated and go forward with the same momentum. So this is a uh, very good practice, and I have personally experienced this as I learned this one from Atomic Habits and implemented it and seen the results. I strongly recommend you to also try this out and see how much powerful it is to tracking our um, efforts and also our progress. So, okay, another mental model we can use for the momentum and consistency is the water pump, right? So, when we pump the water in this water pump, like generally, if you keep pumping it, initially you won't see water coming, but after a few seconds, like if even without pumping, the water will keep flowing out. So that's because it will take some time to for the pump to go and take the water and bring it out. So that's how everything applies in our real life. So just because we don't see any results for some time, we should not leave our efforts and just imagine the water pump. Okay, after some time we will start seeing the result, and then keep doing it consistently. So, with the interest of time, I will uh, quickly summarize what we learned, and then we'll have the discussion. So last two topics, before that, the last two chapter is about influence and acceleration. Influence is nothing but with the influence of people who are around us, how much they influence us in our life, and how to bring in positive influence in our life by seeking mentorship. He has quoted the example of Ken Blanchard, uh, the author Ken Blanchard, and in that Fort we also discussed the book review month back, the 1 minute mentoring by Ken Blanchard. So he also gives that example here. Mentoring is very important. Always have a mentor who can guide you and who will influence you in a positive way, and it applies to you as well. It, be try to see if you can also mentor someone, which will reinforce that mentoring positive impact in your own life. And also, like other point of view here, it is telling us to listen to a lot of educational things or podcast and all that to the people, the person whom you like very much. You can follow them, and you will directly be influenced by them. So, like I follow a lot of people on social media, like authors and many people uh, whom I like, whom I take as role model. So that also gives me like guidance, and it's kind of a mentoring, but like a virtual mentoring. Um, that is about the influences, and the last topic is about acceleration. It's how to make multiply your results and speed up on the results that you are going to gain out of the compounding effect by uh, having working with group, like having a peer group who are having similar interest. So those kind of things will accelerate your progress. It's like I'll give you one good example. I have a friend, Nandini. She was there in the call. I think she might join back. She's one of my friends whom I met recently. So she and we both have a lot of similar interest. So when we talk about few things that we are learning, we get so excited, and we get a lot of insights from each other's perspective, and we keep trying out new things. So that is something I remembered, which was helping me to accelerate on my progress. To summarize everything that we learned, so the six things, like the action. First topic was action, then the choices, the small choices that we make, and habits, how forming the habits and tracking the habits, which will help us to gain the momentum, and also taking influences, positive influences from people around us, and taking mentorship, and then accelerating the progress. So these are the six steps. If we follow this, we can really have huge impact, and this will create a huge success for you. And thank you so much for listening to me so patiently. Uh, wish you all the best for your success journey, and hope this will help you in some way in your own success journey. Thank you very much. I would like to open this forum for discussion. Thank you, Seva ma'am, for hosting it. Thank you, Redford.
Thank you, Chitra ma'am. It's a wonderful presentation. Your final sum up is very good, very nice. With your audio PPT, it was awesome. Thanks for sharing us. So for feedback, for feedback, please everyone raise your hands. According that, I'll call you. So are the feedbacks?
It's me.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Hello, sir.
Fine. This is one of the fantastic topic. In fact, I can say, because within a day we cannot learn this. We need to get this habit into a daily stream, and we need to follow each and every. Because in English there are plenty of self-help books are available, and one book says you do this one book says you do that one, will become a big shot, something like that. But we can take, as you said earlier, we can have a few mentors, and we can follow simple principles. We can learn at least one or two principles from each book, and we can follow. I have learned a lot from books. That's why I'm running after the books. Thank you so much for giving such a wonderful presentation. And as Seva ma'am said, your PPT is excellently presented. And talk is also wonderful. Please continue to do the same thing in the future also. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, brother. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gunasekharan, sir. வேற யாராவது பேசுறீங்களா ஃபீட்பேக்? மதியழகன் சார் சொல்லுங்க.
Thank you, ma'am, Chitra ma'am. It was an excellent presentation. I think this is my second presentation. Listening from your presentation. definitely the consistency, the way you present. There's a lot of insights. Thanks a lot, man. Thank you.
Thank you, Madhyalagan sir. Thank you very much.
தேங்க்யூ மதியழகன் சார். மோகன் வைரக்கண்ணு சார், நீங்க பேசுறீங்களா?
நன்றி மேடம். மிக்க நன்றி சிவா மேடம். மிக சிறப்பான ஒரு நிகழ்வு. அவங்க ரொம்ப அருமையா காம்பவுண்டிங் எஃபெக்டை பத்தி பேசினாங்க. எனக்கு ஒரு டவுட் என்னன்னா, அதாவது நீங்க சொன்னீங்க லக்குங்கிறது வந்து ப்ரிப்பரேஷன் மீட்ஸ் ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டியா இல்லை, ஆனால் அந்த புக்கில் ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டி மீட்ஸ் ப்ரிப்பரேஷன் மாதிரி சொன்னீங்க. இப்போ வந்து நான் வந்து டெய்லி ஓடிக்கிட்டே இருக்கிறேன், ஆனால் திடீர்னு ஒரு ஓட்டப்பந்தயம் நீ ஒரு போட்டி வருதுன்னா அது எனக்கு வந்து இட் இஸ் மீட்டிங் த ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டி அப்படின்னு நான் பார்க்குறேன். பட் ஆனால் அந்த எக்ஸ்பிளனேஷன் வந்து கொஞ்சம் டிஃப்ரெண்டாக இருந்தது. அதுதான் உண்மை. நம்ம கண்ணை மூடிக்கிட்டு instead of waiting for something to happen, preparing for something will always will pay off someday. So that is the luck, the preparation meets the opportunity. ரொம்ப நல்லா இருந்தது. அதே மாதிரி என்னுடைய கருத்து வந்து என்னன்னா, அதாவது ரொம்ப இட் இஸ் வெரி வெரி ட்ரூ. ரெடியூஸ் த வெயிட், டூயிங் எக்ஸசைஸ் alone will not help. அதாவது எப்படின்னா, ஜேசன் ஃபங்னு ஒருத்தர் சொல்லியிருப்பார். அதாவது if you stop reduce the intake, then you can reduce the weight. Exercise alone cannot reduce the weight. Like only 5% you can reduce, but the rest of this we have to limit or stop the intake அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி சொன்னார். அது வந்து I experienced personally, like per day, like weekly 3 times, eating 2 times, like that. And same thing, the walking also, it helps. Like last 7-8 years I'm walking every day 10,000 steps. It really nowadays I cannot stop walking. அந்த அளவுக்கு வந்து ஒரு அது மேல ஒரு பற்று வந்துச்சு, அவ்வளவுதான். பட் உங்களுடைய your presentation was amazing, very nice, lot of good things for saving and all. Coffee is yeah, that is really true nowadays. In airport, in Raleigh airport is like $5 for coffee inside the airport. So expensive every day. It's going up, and outside is $3, or inside is $5. Different. You're right. Saving small always helps. Thank you, madam. Thank you, sir, madam.
Yes.
Thank you, Chitra, madam. Very nice.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I think I don't know if I wrote it correctly. அது வந்து ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டி மீட்ஸ் ப்ரிப்பரேஷன் நினைக்கிறேன். ஸோ லைக் மேபி அது ஃப்ரேஸ் கரெக்டாக போட்டோன்னு தெரியல. பட் யா, அந்த ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டி வந்து ஒரு ப்ரிப்பரேஷனை மீட் பண்ணும்போது இட் வில் பி லைக் லக்குன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க ஜென்ரலாக. ஸோ இதில் வந்து ஹி ஹஸ் இன்க்ளூடட் 2 more things like attitude and action also he has included. அப்புறம் இந்த regarding that diet thing, sir, so like that's very true. I also should have mentioned about it, like even though workout is helping the fitness, for weight loss diet is the first one. And for me, like it all started by just cutting down on the snack that I have in the middle. Like I used to just have, because of work from home, like whenever I get little bit stressed, I used to go and just keep snacking something in the middle. So first I just started only cutting off that snacking thing and only stick to the meal. That itself created a lot of change, and it helped to like improve that by doing like giving it like the fasting, they say, right? Like time restricted eating, like we need to have a little bit of gap between our dinner and breakfast. Like if it is 12 hours, it's very good. So I was able to like first start with the 12 hours, and then slowly I was able to increase it to 14 hours. So like now I can able to do like 14 hours of strict fasting between the dinner and the breakfast. So that created a huge impact. So it all started small, not just cutting down that snack. So that's very valid point. For weight loss, definitely the first thing to go is to cut down the intake of food. So that's very true, Mohan sir. And thank you. And one small thing regarding that opportunity, he has also shared whatever the law of attraction, like whatever we seek, that's what we will see. So like it's kind of our mind is tuned to look at the things only what we are seeking for. So that is why law of attraction works. Even though everything is there around us, we only look at the things what we want. So that's why we need to think about good things that we want to attract and want to achieve. So you will keep attracting, your mind will immediately notice those things around us, even the opportunities. So yeah. Sorry, just adding that small point, sir. Thank you, Mohan sir. Thanks for the insights.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you, madam. Yeah, actually, ஜேசப் என்ன சொல்றோம்னா, இப்போ இஃப் யூ பிரேக்ஃபாஸ்ட் நம்ம டின்னருக்கு இஃப் யூ கிவ் 16 hours there's a real impact அப்படிங்கிறது மாதிரி அவருடைய ரிசர்ச். அதாவது எப்படின்னா, இப்போ 12 hours your whatever you eat, it will be in the liver stored as a glycogen, like glucose. Then it will use it for energy. It will feed that into a sugar into our blood cell. But after 12 hours, from 12 to 16, if you don't give anything, even coffee you can drink without sugar, and I mean, he said milk is okay, but without sugar, anything you give little bit of sugar item, the body knows, metabolism knows that, okay, you gave something, I'm going to manage with that. So it will not go and take the stored fat stuff from our body. So you don't give anything like 16 hours, then you will see the impact in a month itself. So thank you, madam. Nice.
Yes, sir. That's very true.
Thank you, Mohan sir. Ma'am, I need to share. When I was angry, like as you said, when I was angry, I used to have some chocolate cakes. So I thought nowadays I'm not taking it. So nowadays I'm starting to listening music or something else.
Yeah, that's really a good way to handle it, ma'am. Yeah, like it's very hard to control, right? So if we do something else, yeah, that is really.
That time I eat more. I eat snack. I eat chocolate. When my anger sustained, till that I started eating.
Yeah, yes, I can very much relate to your experience.
Okay.
Like, because I don't know whether it's women thing or something, but even when I get stressed, first thing I want to do is to go and eat something. To satisfy that.
Eat, I thought I can listen music, do something else other than eating. So I stopped it.
I would like to add two points. One is normally I take liquid breakfast in the morning. So instead of adding more and more carbs to body, we are reducing the carbohydrate intake. Number one. Then after reading the Ikigai, first ஒரு தடவை என்ன போறோமோ அதை சாப்பிடும். No second தடவை. அந்த ஒரு தடவை மீல் போட்டோம்னா ஒரு கப்பில் போட்டுறோம், ஒரு தட்டில் போடுறோம். That is the meal. After that I will not add. எவ்வளோ அவ்வளோதான். செகண்ட் டைம் இந்த சாதம் குழம்பு ரசம் ஒன்லி ஒன் டைம். ஸோ அப்போ வந்து நேச்சுரலாக வந்து ஏற்கனவே நம்ம வந்து ஒரு இதனால வந்து வெயிட் ரெடியூஸ் ஆயிருக்கா அப்படின்னு சொல்ல முடியாது. பட் ஐ எம் ஸ்ட்ரிக்ட்லி ஃபாலோயிங். ஜென்ரலி இந்த மார்னிங் ஹேவ் தி போரிச் டைப், அந்த கஞ்சி இந்த மாதிரி அதுதான் எப்பயுமே ஏற்கனவே 2 years அது பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கோம். ரெண்டாவது வந்து லஞ்ச் வந்து ஒன் பவுல் இல்லை ஃபர்ஸ்ட் டைம் என்ன போடுறோம் தான். அப்புறம் வந்து தனியாக சாதம் போடுறது, அப்புறம் எக்ஸ்ட்ரா போடுறது, அப்புறம் ரைஸ் ரசம் அதெல்லாம் கிடையவே கிடையாது. என்ன போடுறோமோ ஒரு உரம் தான். அது கம்மியாக போட்டாலும் சரி ஜாஸ்தியாக போட்டாலும் சரி அவ்வளோதான். அதே மாதிரி வெளியில் போனாலும் யூஸ் டு ஃபாலோ தி சேம் திங். ஒரு தடவை தட்டில் என்ன உள்ளது, தட் இஸ் மை ஃபுட் ஃபார் த டே, ஃபார் த டின்னர் ஆர் லஞ்ச் சம்திங் லைக் தட். ஸோ அது வந்து நான் இக்கிகாயிலிருந்து ஐ லேர்ன்ட் that word. That means in Japanese, that people, they take only small plates for their lunch or dinner or something, only small plates, so that you will take only very little amount of food. But because after a certain age, we need some maintenance dose only. There is no need for big lunch or big dinner, something like that. This is my opinion.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Very good point. Thank you, sir. They say that we should only eat 80% full or something like that in that book.
Ikigai.
Like we should not eat full stomach or
Yes,
something
yes,
like
yes,
that.
yes.
Okay, yeah. I heard from someone like, yeah, okay. Nice, take care, sir.
Thank you, Guna sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
வேற யாராவது பேசுறீங்களா?
வினிதிதன் சார் பேசுறீங்களா? ஓகே. தண்டபாணி சார், நீங்க பேசுறீங்களா சார்?
ஓகே மேம். குணா சார் சொல்லுங்க.
இல்ல, just to want to talk about a similar topic that I given you, because இப்போ பார்த்தீங்கன்னா நிறைய பேர் வந்து இந்த அட்டென்ஷன் டெஃபிசிட் நம்ம சொல்றோம். இந்த கிட்ஸ் எல்லாம் அட்டென்ஷன் டெஃபிசிட் இந்த மாதிரிலாம் சொல்றோம். பட் ரீசெண்ட் ரிசர்ச் என்ன சொல்றதுன்னா, தி என்டையர் சொசைட்டி அட்டென்ஷன் டெஃபிசிட் தான் சொல்லுது. The entire society. That disease.
எனக்கே அட்டென்ஷன் டெஃபிசிட் இருக்குன்னு தோணும் சார் நிறைய வாட்டி. ஏன்னா ஒரு ஃபியூ மினிட்ஸ்க்கு மேல ஃபோக்கஸ் பண்ண முடிய மாட்டேங்குது இப்போலாம்.
இல்ல நீங்க சொல்றது நீங்க சிங்கிள் as a person, but the entire society itself attention deficit.
Okay.
அதுக்கு there are lots and lots of examples, and we will discuss one day about that also, and it's really mind blowing. நம்ம வந்து ஒரு குழந்தை அட்டென்ஷன் டெஃபிசிட்னா வெரி சேட் தட் கிட் இஸ் அட்டென்ஷன் டெஃபிசிட் நம்ம சொல்லிட்டு இருக்கோம். ஒரு சின்ன உதாரணம் சொல்றேன். யூரோப்ல ஒரு குரூப் இருக்கு. யூரோப்ல இதே மாதிரி ஒரு புக் ரிவ்யூ குரூப் இருக்கு. அந்த புக் ரிவ்யூ குரூப்ல மினிமம் 60 people will participate. 60 people. இன்னைக்கு எங்கேயாவது நீங்க நினைச்சு பார்க்க முடியுமா? 60 people, யாராவது 60, 50, 100 அதுக்கு பார்க்க முடியுமா? சான்ஸே இல்லை. நீங்க எவ்வளோ ஐ எம் சென்டிங் இன்விடேஷன் ஃபார் மோர் தென் 2000 people and hardly 20 people participated. நம்ம இதுல கூட அப்படித்தான் இருக்கும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். நம்ம ரீட் ஃபோர்ல கூட we are sending invitations to lot of people.
நானும் அனுப்புறேன். nobody is responding
because we are attention deficit. we don't. இதை விட ஒரு முக்கியமான விஷயம், அதாவது நமக்கு வந்து என்ன விஷயம்னா, நமக்கு இந்த டாபிக் பிடிக்கல, ஓகே, ஒரு பக்கம். நமக்கு இந்த I have some other business, okay, that is different. But generally இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு நாலேஜ் நோக்கி ஓடுறது, புதிய விஷயங்கள் கற்றுக்கிறது அப்படிங்கிற அந்த இதே கொஞ்சம் குறைஞ்சிருக்கும்னு எனக்கு தோணுது. இதே கரோனால பீரியட்ல வந்து நிறைய பேர் வந்தாங்க. ஒரு சின்ன கூட்டத்துக்கு மினிமம் வந்து 100-150, ஒருத்தர் வந்து 1000 மெம்பர்ஸ்க்கான ஜூம் அக்கௌண்ட் வாங்கி வச்சிருக்காரு. இப்போ 100K 50K கூட இருந்தா கூட நம்ம வாங்கிக்கலாம் ஜூம் அக்கௌண்ட். That is the case. We need to look into this. ஏன்னா நமக்கு இது என்ன சொல்றாங்கன்னா, இதனால வந்து பெரிய பிரச்சனை வந்து நடக்கும் அப்படின்றாரு. நிறைய ஆக்சிடென்ட்ஸ், நிறைய ஹெல்த் ரிலேட்டட் ப்ராப்ளம்ஸ், இந்த மாதிரி நிறைய நடக்கும். இப்போ நடக்கிறது எல்லாமே ஒரு பிகாஸ் ஆஃப் a simple invisible disease, attention deficit. We'll talk about that one day. Thank you so much, madam, for this brainstorming session. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Guna sir. ஸோ நான் டெய்லி பார்க்குறேன் மேம். இப்போ சில பேருக்கு வந்து மார்னிங், இப்போ உங்களுக்கு வச்சுக்கோங்களேன், மார்னிங் ஏர்லி, அதனால வர முடியாது. சம் ரீசன் அட்லீஸ்ட் ஒரு குறிப்பிட்ட மெம்பர்ஸ் எல்லாருக்கும் வராங்கன்னா, அந்த குறிப்பிட்ட மெம்பர்ஸ்க்காவது அவங்களுக்காக இன்னொருத்தவங்க வரலாம் இல்லையா? எனக்காக ஒரு ஆள் வராங்கன்னா இன்னொருத்தவங்களுக்காக ஒரு ஆள் வரலாம். ஸோ த இட் வில் இன்க்ரீஸ். அது கூட ட்ரை பண்ண மாட்டேங்கிறாங்க அப்படிங்கும்போது எனக்கு சில டைம் ரொம்ப கஷ்டமா இருக்கும். என்னடா என்ன பண்ணாலும் வர வைக்க முடியல, சரி பார்க்கலாம் அப்படின்ட்டு சைலண்ட்.
இல்ல இது வந்து லேர்னிங் குரூப். அதாவது இது நம்ம வந்து சாதாரண பப்ளிக் நம்ம அனுப்புறது இல்ல. we are not sending to common man.
கரெக்ட் சார். பட் வந்து ஃபீல் பண்றாங்க சார், உங்களுக்கு வரல ஆள் அப்படின்னு ஃபீல் பண்றாங்க. நீங்க ஒருத்தருக்கு போனீங்கன்னா அவங்க உங்களுக்கு வருவாங்கல்ல, நீங்க யாருக்குமே போக மாட்டேங்கிறீங்களே, அப்புறம் நான் என்ன பண்ண முடியும்?
இல்ல நம்ம போறது போகாதது அடுத்த பிரச்சனை. இட்ஸ் லேர்னிங். இப்போ வந்து சித்ராவை வந்து இவ்வளவு நேரம் வந்து டைம் ஸ்பெண்ட் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க, இவ்வளவு விஷயங்கள் சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. இது நம்ம வந்து ஓவர் நைட் ஒன்றும் இல்லை. அன்னைக்கு ஒரு புக் ப்ரெசென்ட் பண்ணாங்க. இது வந்து 580 பேஜஸ் என்னமோ டோட்டலா, இந்த 7 ஹேபிட்ஸ் ஆஃப் ஹைலி எஃபெக்டிவ் பீப்புள். அது 550 பக்கம் நம்ம படிக்கிறதுக்கு குறைஞ்சபட்சம் ஒரு 15 days அது ஆகும். அந்த கண்டென்ட்டை ஜஸ்ட் வி ஆர் நோயிங் வித்தின் 30 minutes. அது எவ்வளோ பெரிய டைம் சேவிங். வி ஆர் நோயிங் தட். அது இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் தான் பார்க்கலாம், இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் தான் வாங்கிக்கலாம். அப்புறம் இன்னும் கொஞ்ச நேரத்தில் வந்து நம்மளே கூட அந்த புக்கு வாங்கி படிக்கலாம். நம்ம ஒரு 500 பக்கம் புக்கு படிக்கிறது வாய்ப்பே இல்லை, சான்ஸே இல்லை. 500 பக்கம் புக்கு படிக்கிறது நீங்கள் ஒன்றும் இல்லை. அன்றைக்கி ஒருத்தர்கிட்ட வந்து ஒரு காமிக் புக்கு இருக்குல்லையே, அந்த பழைய காலத்து காமிக் புக்கு கொடுத்து இது படிங்க அப்படின்னா ஒரு பக்கத்துக்கு மேலே அவங்களால படிக்க முடியல, சாரி அப்படின்னு. அப்புறம் ஒரு சேலஞ்ச் விட்டேன், இது நீங்கள் ஃபுல்லாக ஒரு 40 பக்கம் தான் இருக்கும் இந்த காமிக் புக்கு, இது நீங்கள் படிச்சீங்கன்னா இவங்களுக்கு வில் கெட் எ பிக் கிஃப்ட்னா. அப்புறம் தான் கஷ்டப்பட்டு ஒவ்வொரு பக்கமாக புரட்டி கடைசியில் முடிச்சார். காமிக் புக்கு இட் வில் கண்டெயின் மினிமம் வேர்ட்ஸு, பீப்புள் ஆர் நாட் ஏபிள் டு ரீட். ரியலி பேத்தட்டிக். அது ஒரே ஒரு அவங்க சொல்கிற ரீசன் வந்து டிவைஸ் ஒன்று தான் நம்மளை வந்து இவ்வளோ லேசியாக்குறது. நம்ம வி ஷுட் நோ ஹவு டு யூஸ், வென் டு யூஸ், வென் டு சி, வாட் டு சி, இதெல்லாம் நம்ம பார்க்கணும். வெரி நைஸ் செஷன். தேங்க்யூ ஸோ மச். தேங்க்யூ.
தேங்க்யூ சார்.
அதான் நமக்கு வேற ஆப்ஷன்ஸ் இருக்குல்ல சார், அதனால நமக்கு அந்த புக்கு படிக்கணும்ன்றது கொஞ்சம் ஒரு எப்பவுமே ஸ்ட்ரகிள் இருக்கும். என்டர்டைன்மெண்ட் ஆப்ஷன்ஸ் இருக்கு, அது இருக்குன்றப்போ
அது to what extent how much it is going to eat our time.
ஆக்சுவலா என்னோட பாயிண்ட் அது இல்லை சார். நான் என்ன சொல்ல வரேன்னா, இங்கே வந்து எங்களுக்கு ஆள் வரல அப்படிங்கும் போது நான் இந்த சஜஷனை இது பண்ணுவேன், யூ கோ ஃபார் சம்படி, உங்களுக்கு யாராவது வருவாங்க. ஏன்னா என்னால் எதுவும் பண்ண முடியாது இதுக்கு மேலே அப்படிங்கிறது தான் என்னோட பாயிண்ட். நீங்க சொல்லுங்க சித்ரா மேம், நான் போய் ஒருத்தங்களா வீட்டுல இருந்தா கூட்டி வர முடியும்?
கரெக்ட். இல்லை இப்போ ஒன்றும் இல்லை, ஒரு சின்ன உதாரணம் சொல்றேன். ஒரு ஆஃபீஸில் வந்து ஒரு எல்லாமே பெய்டு. இப்போ நம்ம எங்கள் கவர்மெண்ட் ஆஃபீஸ்லேயே வச்சுக்கோங்க, வி ஆர் இன்ஃபார்மிங் டுடே மார்னிங் கம் பை 9 o'clock, ஒரு மீட்டிங் இஸ் தேர், ஒரு 10 o'clock அப்படின்னா முதல்ல மெசேஜ் போடணும், அப்புறம் ஃபோனில் சொல்லணும், அப்புறம் வந்து ஒரு 9:45 வந்துட்டீங்களான்னு கேட்கணும், அப்புறம் 10 மணிக்கு ஏன் இன்னும் வரலன்னு கேட்கணும். வி நீட் சோ மச் ரிமைண்டர்ஸ். ஏன்னா நம்ம அதுக்கான இன்னும் அதாவது அது ஃபோக்கஸ் இல்லை. நான் இன்னைக்கு 10 மணிக்கு மீட்டிங், அதே நம்ம ஒரு ட்ரெயினுக்கு போகணும், 10 மணிக்கு 9:45 போய் நிற்போமா இல்லையா? ஒரு ஃப்ளைட் பிடிக்கணும், இல்லை வேற ஏதோ ஒரு வேலை செய்யணும், அப்போ நம்ம நிற்போம் இல்லை, ஏன்னா வில் பி மிஸ்ஸிங் இட். அந்த அதே சேம் டைப் ஆஃப் அர்ஜென்சி வி ஷுட் ஹேவ் ஃபார் ஈச் அண்ட் எவ்ரி ஆக்டிவிட்டி. வி டேக் இட் granted. Very nice session. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you Guna sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you Chitra ma'am, it was wonderful evening, wonderful presentation. Thank you once again.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you everyone.
Thank you Deva ma'am. Thank you Guna sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mohan sir and Vinay sir. Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Have a nice day ma'am.
Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Bye. நான் செஷன் எண்ட் பண்ணிக்கிறேன்.
Bye.